resin farm nerf, more rare mobs removed, and many game changes. Hello there, Ray here. We got a brand new snapshot today for the Java edition. This is 24W46A. This is the update known as the winter drop, and I'm guessing they're going to come out this one just before Christmas. Maybe they're even going to try to come out before Thanksgiving, which is kind of a big holiday for these Americans. But when it does come out, it's going to be the full release of 1.21.4. Let's take a look at the goods and the bads of this update, and make sure to leave a like on the video. Guys, they nerfed my resin farm. Oh my goodness. So they changed it so that the resin little block, which you can place in like this, can now be waterlogged, so you can stick it inside of blocks, just like it is inside of Bedrock Edition. The only problem is this means that water can no longer break it off when it is flowing either. So you can see the resin will spawn in there, even though the water used to come through and wash all the little resin over here into the center for my farm to work. Now it won't destroy it whatsoever, which is really a pity because this farm was actually really simple and easy to set up. And this is why I don't really do tutorial videos for the different farms in the snapshots unless I'm really sure that they're not going to change it. But they did change this one, so I'm going to have to go back to my previous resin farm, which I initially designed for the Bedrock Edition, using pistons to move the actual blocks so that any resin that is hooked onto them will break off. So if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the new AFK resin farm. And for those of you guys that have the bell notification set to all, you also get informed about everything that I'm working on in the future, as well as I do polls every week asking you all sorts of questions related to the newest things in Minecraft. And more recently I asked this poll here saying, do you think Mojang will nerf my new creaking resin farm? And over 40% of you guys thought they would nerf it in some way, or only 14% of you guys thought they wouldn't nerf it. And it turns out the majority of you guys were correct. They actually did nerf the farm. They also made it a bit easier to place into weird locations, like I can click on this block and I'll place it up above. But it still needs to have a full face surface block in order to actually be placed onto. Now creaking got an improvement today. It'll no longer vanish just by relogging, when typically when the world was reloaded these guys would just vanish. But it seems like they still have the problem. Let's go ahead and also check it with using a nether portal, as nether portals can unload the chunks, which would normally cause them to vanish. And it seems like that also causes them to die. So hopefully this is still a bug that they're going to fix, and if they did fix this, it would make creaking farms a lot more sustainable, because if the creaking's already spawned in at nighttime, when daytime comes, you can hop in another portal and unload the chunks before the daytime destroys them. And then you can just hop back through the portal once it turns nighttime, and the creaking are already there and everything is set up properly. So I look forward to this bug being fixed so we can design some unique farms using that. Now there is two types of creaking, but now you can actually middle click a naturally spawned in creaking to get the creaking egg. But this egg will only produce the weak creakings that can easily be killed with one hit, where this one can't be killed. And killing the creaking that is naturally spawned in will now increase your creakings killed in your statistics. For killing one that comes from a spawn egg will no longer show up as a different entity, but will just show up as creaking, showing that you killed another one, even though one is known as the actual creaking, or the other one is known as a creaking transient, which just means it's around for a temporary time. But now they removed this creaking transient version of the mob. They also doubled the blast resistance as well as the mining speed. It'll be a little bit harder to break these things down. The eye blossoms also got some changes today. First up, if you would make the eye blossom into a suspicious stew, the amount of blindness that it gives you will now be the same as if you made a suspicious stew using the Azure Bullet. And when the game puts in these pale gardens, when it generates the eye blossoms within it, they'll no longer replace the actual wood that comes from the pale oak trees. You can see here, despite this supposed to being a 4x4 bottom, this little flower was actually destroying part of the tree in order to place itself in there. So we won't see that anymore in these forests. They also fixed a problem that they tried fixing last week but it didn't work. Now the closed eye blossoms will no longer poison the bees in case they touch them. They'll only poison them if they are open. Wandering traders will also no longer sell more than one of the actual pale oak saplings in their trades. Now last week they changed it so that skeletons would prioritize holding bows over other weapons, but they accidentally made it so when they're drawing their bows back, they no longer were actually holding them in front of them. As you can see, they're just holding them to the side. So they fixed this for the bog, the stray, as well as the wither skeleton. They removed the prioritizing of bows for wither skeletons, so now they'll no longer pick up a bow and drop their sword. So we can't get this super rare wither skeleton with a bow unless you update your world to the previous snapshot, as I showed in this shorts video where you can get one of these guys, and then these guys are special as they can shoot out flame arrows despite them not having an enchanted bow whatsoever. But if you don't want to get these in a snapshot, you'll have to go all the way back to the version where you can give them overstacked swords, which will delete the items, and I explained how to do that in this video here. Ever since 2019, rabbits had problems pathfinding around small objects like fences. You might have also noticed them around stuff like stairs, just getting stuck there, not being able to move around it or get past it. Well, that supposedly got fixed today, but you can still see the rabbit here getting kind of stuck on this fence. And this one trying to hop up against this stair here. See what happens if I go in survival. Supposed to be scared and run away. So those got away, but yeah, these are still trying to get through, so they might have fixed it for some objects, but it looks like they still have a little bit of trouble. Now it is possible to get a couple different advancements just by having different things in your hand while unleashing a mob. So they fix it for the armadillo advancement, they also fix it for the sheer brilliancy one, as well as the sniffer one. Also, bees that go into nest will no longer lose their lead, but instead drop it right where they go in. They also fix a whole bunch of visual bugs as well as some creative only ones. But the main change that they did today was for components and item models, so they work properly with the recent changes. Now come watch me design a new resin farm over at my Twitch live stream. I do these live streams every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. I stream for about 5 or 6 hours. Much thanks to my monthly supporters, as I wouldn't be able to do these videos without your guys' support. And if you have Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime, make sure to use it up each and every month, as it's a free way to support me without costing you anything more. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!